Hello, and welcome to another edition of Infor's Built for Distribution video series. Today, I'm going to speak about how automating your warehouse can provide numerous operational benefits. But before we get into the demonstration, I would like to briefly review our strategy in partnering with our customers in their digital transformation process. At Infor, we are focused on providing solutions that enable our customers with last mile functionality across their organization. In this presentation, we will be discussing efficiencies that can be gained by automating your warehouse operations. A top priority in any distribution company is delivering a truly excellent and repeatable customer service experience. But secondly, and maybe just as important, is identifying ways to reduce costs wherever possible. Warehouse automation can help you achieve both. By barcoding everything in our warehouse, from items and locations to cartons, totes, and pallets, we are able to track every movement of every item. No longer will you have paper pick tickets. All the information warehouse employees need to do their job will be delivered to handheld devices similar to the ones you see on the screen now. Whether they're rugged scanners or even tablets or iPhones, this technology enables the elimination of many manual processes in the warehouse. So, here are just a few of the challenges that we often hear from those individuals running a paper based warehouse today. And really, it's the reason that they look to automation. Inventory accuracy. So often we hear inaccurate counts at bin locations is a big headache. If we don't know quantity at a bin location, we are essentially telling a picker or an employee that's going to that bin that we're hoping that the correct quantity that they need is there. But if it's not, they have really no way of self correcting that situation. They have to stop what they're doing and search for the answer. Transactional visibility. Providing great customer service is a top priority, but many times we don't have any idea what the status of an order is, or if it's hung up for some reason, we don't know why. So, from a customer services perspective, that typically means we make a call to the warehouse, which is now impacting the warehouse's productivity because they have to stop what they're doing to get the answer to our question. And finally, travel time and errors. In a paper based warehouse, a lot of time is lost searching to find items. Additionally, errors are made, whether it's someone picking the wrong product or the wrong quantity, or maybe when that location was replenished, an inaccurate quantity number was recorded, or perhaps the wrong product was put there altogether. All three of these challenges can be overcome by implementing automation in your warehouse. Now, let's take a look at how CloudSuite distribution from Infor can help your users simplify their daily tasks, which is a critical component of warehouse optimization and operational efficiency. When I first access my application, I will typically start at a user-defined homepage. You can have many different homepages. This one we're looking at now is configured to display KPIs and metrics within a particular warehouse, and typically someone like a warehouse manager would come here frequently. Again, this page is easily configurable, and you can add different types of graphical widgets to show us, for example, warehouse activity. So here I'm looking at the orders that have been picked versus packed, how many have been loaded and shipped. So I can have a widget displaying information. I can even have alerts. For example, this particular alert is telling me that for a PO that I received, I got less quantities than I was anticipating. So I've basically been short shipped. At the top, we have a report that is giving us some indication of the efficiencies of our pickers within our warehouse. So when an employee starts their day, the first thing that they're going to do is they're going to log into one of those handheld scanning devices that we saw earlier. That device will now track every scan they make throughout their shift, and that activity is being captured so we can start to report on things like employee pick efficiency. Here I can see a list of all of my pickers. I can see the lines picked per day against some type of a metric or a goal that we set for them, and we can see that efficiency rating here. Additionally, we can understand how many cycle counts that those employees have been doing individually. And when it comes to counting, we discussed inventory accuracy as a top challenge for many distributors. Well, now in an automated warehouse, there's going to be a new type of count that is performed. And that is a discrepancy count, which is basically an exception report to help you stay on top of those locations or those items that the system has flagged as needing some type of an attention. So I can access that view directly from my home screen using my favorites and bookmarks area. You can see many of the areas I will typically go into. I can access those directly from these links. I'm going to click on my inventory discrepancy. So once inside this view, I'm given a list of all of the bins, all of the locations that have been flagged with some type of an anomaly. So I can sort by any of these fields if I want to. I can look at what type of activity actually triggered this discrepancy and what type of problem was related to it. So was it some type of a quantity problem? Was it a location problem? So I can sort by any of these, and I can see, for example, on this top one, I was expecting a quantity of 104, and there was actually 102. This discrepancy view is something that you really don't have in a paper-based warehouse. A critical activity that takes place when you don't have automation is that yearly physical count. So when we add automation, typically, what we see is that annual physical count really goes away. Cycle counting is continuously happening and it's done during normal business hours. And this provides you with a constant check and balance between what the system sees and what the shelves are saying. And so, those bins that show up in this discrepancy port, those are the ones that you need to worry about. Those are the ones the system's alerting to you that there's something off and you need some investigation. Another advantage of tracking every movement in the warehouse is we now know exactly where things are at all times, when they were moved, where they were moved to, who moved them. This provides other individuals in our company real-time updates on order statuses. So, for example, from a customer services perspective, if I take a call from a customer and they're asking me about an order, I have the ability to give accurate information without needing to take a note, call the warehouse, interrupt their process to get the information that I need so I can give that information to the customer. I can access a warehouse logistics inquiry screen to understand where the status of this order sits. So I can see that it's actually been picked already. I can see down below which items or products were picked, the quantity that was picked, even the employee number, who picked it, and the time and the date stamp. So I can tell that customer that's called in, yes, your order's already in process, it's been picked, we expect it to be packed later today and probably out the door to you before the end of the day. Additionally, if I have an order that's already been shipped, and for example, a customer calls in, maybe we've sent them many packages in a particular order that they received. So that's been shipped, but I have visibility into what items went into which cartons or which packages. So at packing, we're affixing a carton label that we basically have as a way to identify what products were put in which cartons or which boxes. So if that customer comes in or calls in and maybe that order was for a job and it went to a site and they're looking for a particular item that they need right away. So I can tell that customer, hey, look in this specific carton, look for this number. That's where the item is you're looking for will be located. As a customer service representative, I'm able to give that customer the exact information that they were looking for at the exact time that they needed it. So, how are we able to capture all this information and provide this level of visibility? Well, it's all possible because of the diligent setup that we do when we first implement a warehouse automation tool. CloudSuite distribution provides an extensive list of attributes that we can take advantage of. For example, I can see item attributes that can be captured or potentially warehouse zones. We can identify certain zones for maybe a forklift or maybe for small items. Also, location. So if I click on location, here is a listing of basically every bin location that we have in this particular warehouse. And drilling into one of these line items, identifies all of the attributes that are available just for this warehouse location. So what zone is this location in? What aisle is this particular bin located at? Do we have a specific type of location? Is it a shelf? Is it a pallet? Is it a rack of some sort? We can also track any details around the size of this particular area that we're putting this item. Is it a primary pick? Is there a secondary location? Back up here, do we have a sequence in which we want this bin to be picked from? For example, if this is a large, heavy item in this location, maybe I want to send pickers here first so they don't load up a bunch of smaller items on a pallet, for example, and then come here and pick this larger item and potentially crush or damage all the smaller items that they already put on that pallet. We should have instead had them come to this bin first. The benefit of collecting all this data is that it's going to help the warehouse employees perform their day to day tasks much easier and faster. A lot of this valuable information is being sent directly to those handheld scanning devices. So travel time is reduced because we're providing them with an efficient path through the warehouse and productivity is increased. So let's revisit the challenges that we identified earlier that a paper based warehouse often faces and review the solutions that automation can bring. Inventory accuracy. When you invest in warehouse automation, what you're buying is control. Real time tracking of movements provides actionable discrepancy checkpoints. This means you can focus on just those things that need attention and have peace of mind that the system is handling the rest. Lack of visibility. With automation, you now have the data that you've never had before that can be analyzed and further identify productivity and efficiency gains in the warehouse. But it's also giving us the insight to better service our customers, providing them with the information they need when they request it. And finally, lost time and errors. Information a warehouse employee needs to perform their day to day job is really now in the palm of their hands. Being forced to stop and look for information is no longer a problem. They can get the answers that they need right from where they're standing. As a reminder, everything we showed today was powered by the cloud, Infor's CloudSuite distribution, which incorporates a network, analytics, and artificial intelligence. Capabilities to make connections across the enterprise and beyond, providing the visibility, insights, and information companies need to perform and serve customers better in dynamic, highly competitive markets. Using AWS as our partner, we have developed our solution to utilize those features to allow Infor to manage the environment on behalf of our customers. Infor Operating Service, or Infor OS, is a technology platform that supports fully integrated, industry specific solution suites with mobile first design, a consumer inspired user experience, and science driven analytics. It leverages the convergence of information, analytics, cloud computing, mobility, and social business. By marrying business processes to employee communications, Infor OS's collaboration capabilities allow you to contextualize intelligence, make single sign on a reality, and increase efficiency by enabling employees to work smarter and faster. At Infor, we are constantly working to understand the challenges that our distribution customers face on a daily basis. We identified three specific to warehouse operations, but in general, these challenges include understanding and enabling the sales channels that their customers expect, distinguishing themselves by adding value to the supply chain, optimizing profitability by effectively managing both the top line revenue and the operational costs of the business, gaining insight into all of the powerful transactional data that is accumulated on a daily basis, and finally, enabling our existing and prospective workforce to be successful by providing intuitive and modern tools in their solutions. In summary, the strengths of the Infor Cloud Suite are that it is distribution focused with industry functionality built in. It delivers innovation with our multi tenant cloud platform for integrations, workflows, business intelligence, extensibility, the Internet of Things, and artificial intelligence. It's built with a modern, beautiful user experience to support a new generation of workers. It provides implementation accelerators and best practices baked into every deployment, delivering a faster time to value. It is a complete suite of scalable applications to meet your specific needs, and it provides a single platform to meet your individual business needs from traditional distribution to service and rentals to configuration and light manufacturing and much, much more. This presentation provides a good introduction to what Cloud Suite distribution can deliver, specifically addressing operational efficiencies gained with warehouse automation. If you'd like to learn more, please contact us or visit our website. Thank you.